Hi everyone, Phil from Ferris Technology. What I have here is the Samsung Galaxy Nexus and the iPhone 4S. We're going to be doing a full comparison and review between each of these phones. So here we go. So first thing we'll do is we'll go into a size comparison. So we'll just put them basically front and front right there so you guys can see them. So you can see how much bigger the screen is on the Galaxy Nexus compared to the 4S. Go to the side. You can see the Galaxy Nexus does have a slightly curved screen. At the thinnest point of the phone it is actually slightly thinner than the 4S, but at the thickest point it is definitely thicker than the 4S. Let's go to the back now. So you can see how much bigger it is. It's got more of like a ripply type backing on the Galaxy Nexus, and on the 4S it's just the flat, smooth. So we'll go to the top. No buttons on the top on the Galaxy Nexus. But the iPhone 4S has the 3.5mm headphone jack as well as the power on and off or standby button. And on the bottom, you can see the iPhone 4S has the charging port as well as its speakers and microphone. And then on the Galaxy Nexus, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, the microphone, and the charger port for it. Screen size on the Galaxy Nexus is a 4.65-inch screen with a 1280 by 720p resolution, so it's the full resolution 720p. And on the iPhone 4S we have a 3.5-inch Retina display with a 960 by 640. The one thing that a lot of people say is they prefer having the bigger screen just because it's a lot more real estate there to play around with and to watch movies and videos and all that stuff on. But the one thing that you'll notice about the iPhone 4S is that with the smaller screen, you can reach everywhere on the screen no problem if you have just a normal smaller sized hand. On the Galaxy Nexus, you can see it's a lot harder to reach to the very top of the screen. I have about average sized hands and I can't reach the top corner when I'm going, so you can see it's definitely a lot harder to play around with. But like I said, that's kind of a like it or hate it type thing. A lot of people prefer having the bigger screen. I myself think the iPhone 4S screen size is ideal for me, but like I said, it's a matter of opinion of what you like. When you go into weight on the phone, the Galaxy Nexus weighs 145 grams and the iPhone 4S weighs 140 grams. If you hold them side by side, honestly you really can't notice much of a difference in weight. It's very similar. Like I said, it's only about 5 grams of a difference on the weight. The Samsung Galaxy Nexus uses a 1.2 GHz dual-core processor. And on the iPhone 4S, we have a 1 GHz dual-core processor. This is the Apple A5 chip. As far as what network goes for each of these running on, each of them are actually only 3G. A lot of people are confused, especially with the iPhone 4S being 4G, but it's not actually running on 4G. It's actually a 3G network speed. It's 3G HSPA+, so they both run on that 3G HSPA+. We're waiting for the next generation of these phones to hopefully get it into 4G or LTE. As far as operating systems go, the Galaxy Nexus runs on the new 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. This is the latest Android operating system, which we've been waiting quite a long time to get. So we're quite excited to finally have that new operating system on the Galaxy Nexus. And on the Apple iPhone 4S, we have the 5.0 software. So a lot of new features on the 5.0, like the notifications tray and the Siri feature, just like that voice notification. So a lot of cool new features on the 4S. But Galaxy Nexus as well, a lot of cool new features. The menus changed, just runs a lot smoother. Just the operation of it is just amazing. As far as customization goes, I highly prefer the Galaxy Nexus as far as customizing. You just got so many different options on the phone as far as like putting widgets, live wallpapers, stuff like that. So it's just you can really just make it your own, which you can't do on the iPhone 4S. The iPhone 4S is just a really standard screen. The most you can do is just like move icons around wherever you want to. So it's really not that customizable. You can have your little picture display, like have a picture of a car right there. So there's really not a lot else you can do with this phone. So customization, definitely hands down give it to the Galaxy Nexus as well as any Android device. You can just totally make it your own, which is awesome. As far as battery life goes, I've played around with both phones, and to be quite honest, I haven't noticed a huge difference as far as battery life goes. As you can see, I've got 97% charge on the 4S. I've got about half on the Galaxy Nexus, but I've been using my Galaxy Nexus a lot lately, so battery life wise, it's really just an even match here. It's kind of depending how you use it and what you do. The one benefit, though, I'd have to say is that the Galaxy Nexus does have a removable battery cover, so you can just pop that off right there, remove it completely, and you can replace your battery. So if you do like to carry around 2 batteries with you, and if you can't get yourself through the day, then it's definitely a good thing to have. As you can see, obviously on the iPhone, any iPhone generation, it's all built-in batteries, so there's no removable battery at all. So we'll go into camera now. The Galaxy Nexus uses a 5 megapixel rear camera that has capabilities of 1080p HD video, as well as it has the 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, which is great for Skype video calling and any sort of FaceTime equivalent. On the iPhone 4S, we've got a 8 megapixel rear camera. They both have the LED flash on them, like I didn't mention on the Galaxy Nexus, but they both have the LED flash, as well as 1080p HD video on the 4S. And on the front of the 4S, we have only a VGA quality camera, so it's not a 1.3 megapixel, so slightly lower camera quality, which you can also use for the FaceTime or the Skype video calling. So we'll go into memory now. As far as built-in memory, they both have the built-in memory. There's no expandable memory on either of these devices. The Galaxy Nexus, currently it's launched at 16 gigabytes of internal memory. There's no memory card slot, so it's not expandable. On the iPhone 4S, they obviously launched at the 16, 32, and 64 gigabytes of memory, so there's quite a bit of a price difference between those, but neither of them are expandable memory, so you can't expand it on the iPhone 4S either. So it's definitely Galaxy Nexus. I mean, you have one option only. iPhone 4S, you've got other options, but it is quite a bit of a price difference, so keep that in mind. So we'll go into voice activation. So we'll go into voice activation functionality. So the iPhone 4S has the Siri, which has become widely popular right now as being one of the great features for voice search, voice navigation through your phone and all of that. And we've got on the Android platform now, they've got one called Andy, they call it. So I played around with both of them. I've done quite a bit of comparisons between them. I'll do a separate video for that. I'm not going to do a demonstration of that right now, but I can definitely say the iPhone 4S Siri feature is definitely a lot more accurate, just a lot easier to use in my opinion. Again, I'm being unbiased completely. I've used both phones widely, and I can definitely say the Siri feature works a lot better. So as of right now, the Galaxy Nexus is shipping unlocked completely, so it's world unlocked. You can put in any SIM card, anything worldwide, and it's completely free of network. You can use it on any network anywhere. And on the iPhone 4S, it is shipping from carriers locked, but if you actually purchase it through the Apple Store directly, you can actually get them unlocked. So keep in mind, pricing is quite a bit more expensive though, so we'll go into pricing now. iPhone 4S retails around $650 outright, $750 for the 32, $850 for the 64, and the Galaxy Nexus currently retails for about $600, and that's just for the 16 gigabytes. So we're going to go into a web browsing test. I'm going to go to a popular website that I like going to. We're going to go to CNN.com, and we'll go on to the Galaxy. We'll go CNN.com. Both caches are clear. There's no advantage for either of these devices. Everything is clean, good to go, connected to the same Wi-Fi network right now. We'll go 1, 2, 3. So looks like it's fairly close, I'd have to say. The iPhone 4S looked like it loaded it up faster, but it wasn't completely finished loading, whereas the Galaxy Nexus didn't show the page, but once it got there, it was loaded right away. So I'm going to have to say it's pretty close. It's going to be hard to say which one's the winner there. I'm just going to go play around with the browser here a little bit. You can see kind of the smoothness of the 4S is just a little bit smoother, in my opinion. Fairly close though. We're going to go to full site. Let's see if I can do this at the same time. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like the Galaxy Nexus not quite done there. Yeah, Galaxy Nexus is done. iPhone 4S still going. There we go, iPhone 4S done. So definitely Galaxy Nexus was faster loading there. We'll play around with the browsers a little bit here so you can see. Like I said, smoothness of the browsing, I believe the 4S is just slightly smoother. Both have the pinch to zoom feature, so there's pinch to zoom on the 4S. As you can see as well, a little bit more smoother on the 4S. Fairly close though. Both excellent browsers. I don't really have a personal preference on browser. Huge thing obviously is that Flash is available on the Galaxy Nexus and not available on the 4S, but that's just personal preference. A lot of people have made such a big deal about that when really it's not a big deal. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for my Galaxy Nexus versus iPhone 4S review and video comparison. I don't usually pick winners in situations like this just because I'd like to keep it up to my viewers to see which one they prefer, because there really is no real winner in this situation. They're both really great phones. Personally, I use both of them on a regular basis. I don't have a favorite. I just use them because they're both fun phones to use, both kind of the latest and greatest out right now from Google, Android, and from Apple. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Leave some questions and comments below. I'll do my best to answer any questions. I'd love to hear your comments and see which one you guys prefer. And that's about it. That's going to wrap it up. Don't forget to give me a like on this video if you've appreciated my help, and I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.